I'll never forget the first payment I got, maybe a couple of months, is $27. It's honestly, I do a little shuffle. It's ridiculous. It's only off my feet, so now we joke that I've put my feet on the internet and made a lot of money from it, when it's not what that. See, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're still tied to a 9 till 5, and then you're stressed on a Friday evening, you're anxious on a Sunday night, that's not freedom. I used to start work at 7 o'clock in the morning and finish at 10 o'clock at night. And like you say, our parents, they're still not in this. They don't understand that people are making 6 figures a month. One video went to 36 million views.
What?
I could say. And it went absolutely crazy. That was very early on in my career. Like, at that point, I could then pitch myself to brands.
Yeah.
I saw what this could do.
Right, welcome to another show of Creative Freedom. Today we've got a lovely guest, someone from back home. So you're going to be hearing us saying, "You right, darling? You right, sweet Cole?"
I don't talk like that.
All right, sweet. Yeah, so look, on our show, we always like to start off with the main question of the word freedom. You know, what does that mean to you when you hear freedom?
I've got a couple of answers for this. So I think if you'd have asked me a year ago, I'd have said quite the generic location freedom is a big thing for everybody. Then when I started traveling and coming to all these amazing places, I think to begin with, probably financial freedom is a big thing for everybody. Following into that, then location freedom. Location freedom, then being in these incredible places, if you're still tied to, say, like a remote job or something, for example, I now think like time freedom is a big thing. What's made me think of that being in Bali? I mean, my messages every day, come to the beach club, let's go for dinner, I'm on my way to yours, be ready in 5. So I like that my job, I am very flexible. I can do my work in the morning, spend my afternoon with friends, socialising at the gym. I can pick and choose when I do my work. So I think that's a really big thing for me. Like I say, is my perspective on freedom has evolved in the past couple of years since I've been travelling, been living in these different countries. But yeah, I think time freedom now, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you're still tied to a 9 till 5, and then you're stressed on a Friday evening, you're anxious on a Sunday night, going back to work the next day, I don't think, and you only get 28 days holiday, that's not freedom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, and I mean, I've got friends that travel and still work remotely. Yeah, you're in these amazing countries, but you still only have your couple of hours on in the evening to do what you want, or you've got your weekends, and weekends soon fly by, don't they? No time at all.
No, it's like a Saturday, you do whatever you want, but then Sunday, you're kind of getting ready for the next week again.
Yeah, no, of course. And especially if you are escaping that whole 9 till 5. I worked in an office for a year, and on a Friday, I mean, we'd go to the pub after work and they'd still be talking about work up until about 7, 8 o'clock. I'm like, guys, can we, we're not even getting paid for this right now. Let's change the conversation. Tell me something else. So then you're escaping, you're drinking on a Friday night with your friends from work. Then you're hungover Saturday morning. You might drag yourself out of bed midday, Saturday. And like I say, then Sunday, you're getting ready for the next week again. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very lucky to be in the position that I am.
Yeah, and how did that change your definition of freedom? Where it was a location free, financial sort of freedom, and now it's been able to choose almost. How did that evolve, or what sparked that? Or
do you know what? When you say that, I'll never forget. I've always been a grafter. That was what we said. I've always had a good work ethic. I've always worked before doing what I do now, I worked a full-time job and a part-time job, and was trying to do sort of freelance work on the side. I'm a marathon runner, so that was very time consuming to train for that. And I'll never forget, like my friends would say, right, what day can we do next week? And I'd only have a Monday or a Tuesday afternoon to myself out of the entire week. I'd work the rest of the time. I used to start work at 7 o'clock in the morning and finish at 10 o'clock at night, and then I'd go to the gym. Like my life was so structured, and I did really enjoy it. I had a really, really good job. I mean, I worked with the horses for years, so it didn't really feel like a job. I was really lucky. But yeah, and then my brothers, I'm very lucky. My brothers are very intelligent, read all the books. We started learning about currency and exchanging your time for money. We started investing, so that has really helped me financially. And yeah, I've always wanted to travel the world. I did take a year sabbatical from my job, and I did actually go back to my job. I think probably out of fear, but maybe we'll get onto that later. But I just knew that if I wanted to make money, I was making good money, but because I was putting in the hours. So I don't know what the moment was that changed for me. I'm very lucky. It's my brother that has introduced me to this world. He's taught me everything that I know. And after traveling for the first time, you can't go back to normal life, can you?
Yeah.
I can't wake up in a nice villa in Bali or stroll down the beach in Thailand and then go back and, oh, hello, good afternoon, what do you want from me? Can't do that. So I think you force yourself, when you know that this is the life that you want to live, you do everything in your power to find that method to get you there.
So for everyone's watching, just introduce yourself.
Oh, heck.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself?
Yeah, who you are.
Work related or as a person?
You as a person.
Oh, God.
We're going to go and look that a bit afterwards.
Okay. My name is Lois. I'm from York in the UK. I'm 27. I actually only left my job 2 years ago, I think. I'm a UGC creator. I manage my brother's content creators. We have 200. So me and his girlfriend, we manage those. And in a week, I'm launching my first product on Amazon.
Fantastic. So going back to, you mentioned, back in York, you had sort of, you call it a grafter. Yeah. I think I know what that.
Have you heard that term?
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
Take to a graph and it's, well, working class.
Good work ethic.
Good words,
Yeah.
I've seen.
Right there, we work as much as we can, get
Yeah.
as spread as we can on the table.
Oh.
Bread.
And so, well, you enjoyed it, it seems like, yeah. But what did your life sort of look like when you were tell us your experience with that, and I guess what changed almost,
So, like I said, I worked with the horses for a long time. I worked in various different types of yards: polo yards, show jumping yards, Bennington yards.
Doing what?
Riding horses.
Just riding horses, okay.
Well, you get paid to ride horses.
When you're good at it, yeah.
Oh, really? Is that a job? That's not a bad job.
I can't complain at all. But as much as it's very nice, I was out in the countryside. It's still early mornings, driving down country roads in bad weather. You know what the weather's like in the UK. I was exhausted constantly because I was trying to just do as much as I could, save as much as I could. And I think the moment that changed for me was when I think I've always wanted to earn good. I think everybody wants to earn good money. And I was, but only because I was doing what I was doing. And I knew that I've always said to myself, you're 20 odd years old, just keep going. But you can't do that forever. It wasn't sustainable what I was doing. I was in a relationship. He used to complain that we didn't do an awful lot together. So again, that's not sustainable. I will look back on memories and my mum will say, oh, were you at this event? I'll say, no, I was at work. I worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. And like I say, just realising that I could not do that forever. And then when opportunities, like I say, I'm very lucky. It was my brother that introduced me to this world. And I don't know, the way that I got into it, he started dropshipping and we were making organic content to sell his products. And they say that you should do what people tell you that you're good at. And I always like put, I mean, you will have seen on my Instagram, I love doing my little videos. This is what we've done today, or this is my holidays, is putting all the clips together, putting some nice music or inspirational. And people have always said, oh, you're really good at your videos. I've always loved videography, photography. So to them, put those two things hand in hand. And it's funny because the first brand that I started doing UGC content for, we were on it must have been a very, very small commission base. And I'll never forget the first payment I got. I can't remember how long it was for. Maybe a couple of months. It was $27. Well, this isn't going to get me very far, is it?
I thought you were going to say 27,000, and I was like,
I wish. Eventually, that did happen. But yeah, and because I've always liked money, me as a person, well, I don't know if it's me as a person, but I think 99% of people would have probably sacked it there and then and not bothered. That was such hard work. I was learning the ropes. You post a video, you think it's really good, it gets like 200 views, and then to get that small pay packet. But I don't know, I just persevered, which I do. I'm very much a long-term goal-orientated person. I'm very good with sort of like delayed gratification. But I don't know, I just kept going.
How was that, putting all that effort into earning $27 or pounds, right? How does that make you feel? Because, I think when people go out and do stuff on their own, one of the most memorable part is that first.
Yeah, it
dollar.
is. I mean, we're quite good. We laugh at everything, so you can't help but laugh, can you? Goodness me! But yeah, I don't know what it was. Call it fate, call it destiny. I don't know, but I just kept going with that, and it did take me an awful long time. So the next goal, after that, was to get 10 million lifetime views, whether it be over my content or one video. And then you can start pitching yourself to brands. At that point, that's sort of like a nice ballpark figure where you know the ropes, you can sort of get paid a retainer for it. So that was the goal. And I was working with brands when we I wasn't working with brands, sorry. My brother was testing different products in the run-up to us going traveling last year. And one of the products that we were selling, do you know Mario Kart?
Yeah.
The Nintendo
game, yeah.
So the film had just come out, and we're like, right, let's jump on this. Even if it's a short term, we'll just sort of hopefully get a load of sales in. We'll make some videos. And we found these slippers that came in a tube. I hadn't even seen the Mario film. Funnily enough, I watched it on the way back home from traveling last year. So I didn't even know what this product was. I didn't know the backstory. I didn't know the characters. But there's a huge fan base of Mario Kart. So we ordered this product. Leo spun together a website, and I was making these really short, daft 7-second videos with the most simple hook. I was still very green, so I didn't know about a call to action. I still really at that point didn't know how to make content viral. But by absolute sheer pot luck, one video went to 36 million views.
What?
I couldn't say. And it went absolutely crazy. All the comments, where can I get this? I need this. I want these for my daughter. And it went crazy. So we spun together this website. You put the link in the bio on TikTok. And that one video alone did £30,000.
Can you get the link for that?
Yeah.
For that. We're going to drop that link somewhere here, yeah? So you guys can watch that.
So that was very early on in my career. Like I say, that was potluck. So that mustn't have been very long after the $27 pay. So at that point, I could then pitch myself to brands.
Yeah.
I saw what this could do. Again, I'm a very lucky person. So whether it is that kept me going, I always have an awful lot of faith in my brothers. If they tell me that something's going to work, like I say, they're incredibly intelligent. I would always, if they're going to tell me to do something, I'll follow in their footsteps, of course, because I just have the absolute utmost faith in them. They're incredible.
Yeah. Has like it's another thing to like with the video, right? You know, what was it? What did you do? I'm curious to maybe understand that thought process of creating that I don't know, was it a 7-second video?
Yeah.
Was it this wild? What did you do?
I don't know. Like I say, I had seen we're in a Discord group. It's called The Collective. If you want a link for it, I can get paid if you want to sign up to my links. So I'd seen, and they have a results channel, so I'm seeing results every day. But again, like we were saying earlier, it does feel very far-fetched when you're seeing people online. It's just a screenshot. You don't know this person. You don't know really the backstory to how they got there. But yeah, and it's the most ridiculous video that you'll ever see. It's so funny.
I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I guess people that want to, or you know, even have a taste of it, right? They all fall into that rabbit hole, and you know, might go into a Discord channel or even see it, you know, on Facebook or with results, right? Just I made $30,000 in a month or and whatnot. But that I guess that you know that.
That's the one.
Yeah, and I lost my words.
Wow.
But yeah, like what I'm trying to say is, like, are those things like real or are they fake? You know, when people post up results on like Discord and whatnot. What are your thoughts?
I mean, they are real.
Yeah.
There is people who, I mean, you can generate fake Shopify. You could Google image right now. I do know people that do. I mean, you'll see it all on people rent Lamborghinis to sell their cars, or so you do have to be very careful as to what you consume online. But I mean, this Discord that we were in, it is just like just your normal everyday people who are either making their first sale, getting their first viral piece of content. So, like I said, you do have to nitpick your way through the internet, I would say. But I mean, we were jumping on calls, we were sort of like in teams, all working together, sharing information. So we were very lucky as to how our career in this field has evolved. But yeah, I would be cautious as to what you see online.
Well, when I share a video or anything like that, we're happy if I get 100. You get 27 million.
I'll give you a like.
I'll give you a one.
Yeah, we're gonna talk later. We're gonna see how we can get me up to that. At least 1,000. Yeah. Nah, wow. God, I'm still trying to think about this 27 million. It's bloody weight. So where
do you want to see the video?
I want to see this link. I really want to see what you done. What 7 seconds?
It's honestly, I do a little shuffle. It's ridiculous. It's only off my feet, so now we joke that I've put my feet on the internet and made a lot of money from it when it's not what that seems.
Yeah, only fans page on the feet.
If there's a market for it.
Actually, there is a girl I met in Bali who actually does that.
Yeah.
She only shows her feet. She
earns
a lot of money. I'm like, whoa. I wonder if market can do that.
Great, yeah. It's
Look at my feet.
well, I've never looked at them like that before. Hey, there's manicure and pedicure shops on every corner here.
Oh man, I need to get a facelift, but I need a toe lift.
Yeah, they're horrid, your feet.
I know, man. Look. Anyway, so
funny.
hope they ain't some views for this.
Nah, you probably repel them all with your feet.
It's gonna get taken down now. I'm trying to entice them in, not put them off.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Right, now I've got lost now.
Yeah.
You're gonna catch me up there.
And so what did your mom or your friends think of you when you sort of, you know, became a sort of UGC creator, because it's not normal.
Yeah, no. Dinner, and I've a couple of points I'll cover on this. So I'll never forget being stood in the kitchen and a couple of our friends had come round to say goodbye because we were flying to Australia. So this happened 2 days before we flew to Australia. We were going away. We'd taken sabbatical leave from our job, both of me and my youngest brother, and like I say, it was 2 days. It was absolute pot luck. I'll never forget the disco was like the Stilgoe were on top, and we were going to the airport, and Leo's phone is ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a good old trip.
You must be
It paid for
buzzing.
everything. It paid for all of our flights, and like, so we didn't do hostels, we didn't do overnight
You don't have to do
buses,
that.
trains, we just got flights. We didn't have to. And we'd always been very good with saving. Like, we knew that we could cover ourselves regardless of this video blowing up, so it's just an added bonus. And it was one of my friend's birthdays the night before I was leaving to the airport. So I went out, and my friend Lydia, she's absolutely incredible. I adore her. We were sat in a nightclub in my home city. I said, Lydia, like, you'll never guess what. Leo spun up this website. My videos, absolutely, my notifications still coming through. Hundreds and thousands, well, not hundreds of thousands, it only got like 17,000 followers, but hundreds of thousands of views, comments. My phone's going crazy. So I showed her, and I'm trying to explain like an overview and the concept of it. And I showed her this video. She said, oh, I'd buy those, because I was thinking, who on earth is buying these? And I'm the producer, she's the consumer. She always went, oh, I've got no money, but then she'll have bought her dog an outfit, and she's one of those people. And I thought, that is so funny that you've just said that. Like, you are the type of people that are buying from us, that we're selling to. Oh, it was, and so we set off traveling. Like I said, we'd both taken sabbatical leaves from our jobs, and my youngest brother, he was a civil engineer apprentice, got a really, really great opportunity for a really, really, really good company. Him and my mum put so much time and effort into their application. My mum was over the moon when he got the role. But Leo was really quiet, very socially awkward, really struggled with conversation. I mean, me and my other brother, I think we've almost drowned him out over the years, because we're the big, bold, loud characters. And I'll never forget, I remember setting off traveling thinking, what are we going to talk about for the next 6 months? Because me and him were not the closest out of our brother and sister, our siblings. And we'd done a few countries, and Leo started coming out of his shell, but it was still we were still testing different products, still making money online. I was still working with brands, and our mum would ring up every so often. And because Leo was making money online, that was his goal. He did not want to go back to this civil engineer job. He didn't like it. He had no interest. It was during COVID, so he was sat at home on his own. He's 17 years old. He doesn't want to be. And then he would go into the office every so often. He'd come back home and said, I have nothing in common with them. He looking back, we've spoken about it now, he probably was depressed. He just had no interest in this job. But my mum was, because it was such a good opportunity, my mum really struggled. And like you say, our parents, they're still not in this. Yeah, they use the internet, but they don't understand that people are making 6 figures a month, making £100,000 a day selling items online. So yeah, I'll never forget, we were in Vietnam, and my mum rang. She said, oh, so what have you thought about your job? Like, when are you going to tell them that you're going back? And Leo was like, she was almost pushy. She'd always say, please keep thinking about it. And Leo was like, that I've done my thinking. I'm making money online. That doesn't make me happy. It's not what I want to do. And I'd have to be the mediator to sort of say, you have to understand where mum's coming from. My mum's always worked sort of like, I don't know if you call it like government-based jobs, like police, schools. So she's always had your 9 to 5, pension, holidays, sick leave, things like that. So for us then to delve into the online world is very new to her. She saw the highs, the lows, no consistency. I mean, I know people that have run stores, and then the products have been sent out, and then they've had loads of charge. So they might have done a good month, but then they've had loads of chargebacks and then made nothing at the end of it. It's a very cutthroat industry. It is difficult, and it's often not consistent. And she was on the phone, and she's like, please keep thinking, please. And Leah was like, Mum, I don't want to go back to this job. I'm not going to do it. And I'm trying, like I say, be the mediator. And my mum she was crying on the phone, listening to him saying, I don't want to go back to this apprenticeship. They would have put him through university, paid for that. He could have worked in any of the offices around the world. He could have been making like £80,000 a year in like a few years' time. It was a really, really, really great opportunity. So I could see where both of them were coming from. And like I say, she's crying on the other end of the phone. I felt so bad, and we're so far away, and I can see both points of view. She put the phone down on us. She's never done that before. So
she's trying to get through to you. Just working.
Just not listening. And especially, like I said earlier, especially going traveling, then when you do go home, it's very difficult to fall back into the 9 till 5. Oh, what do you want to do with your friends? Should we go out drinking? No, I've done so much more than that in the past 6 months or however long you've been away. So we just did everything in our power to make it work. And consistency will always come through. My one advice in the online world would be find one thing. People try selling online and they'll try sell a course and then they'll spread themselves too thin. If you stick to one thing, put all of your time and effort. We have YouTube at our fingertips. We have the internet to answer any question. You can make things work if you have that in you to do so.
Has your mum accepted it now?
Oh, she has now, because he's doing $200,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, now she's getting retired. Yeah, now she's in on it, but it did take her a long time. I think it's generational, isn't it?
They're grafters.
Yeah,
That's
they
the word.
are.
They're grafters.
They
They're nothing
are.
else. So graft, you got to wake up in the morning. You got to go and graft.
Yeah.
It's that whole scenario that go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and you work.
Absolutely.
And they're nothing different from that. Anything else is like in an imaginary world.
Yeah. I'll never forget, I went home and I ran past my nana's house. I just quickly popped in and we were sat outside her little garden. And she said, so how did you afford to travel? And I said, well, we're working online. And sort of gave her a very brief overview. I'm not going to blow her mind as well, poor thing. And she looked me in the eye and she said, we didn't have that opportunity when we were growing up. And that, obviously I know that the internet's not been around forever, but now there is so much opportunity. Everything's 24 hours a day. We do everything on our phones. We don't look at a map. We don't work things out without a calculator. There's somebody behind all of that at any time of the day, anywhere in the world. There's so much and that comment in itself, I was like, whoa. Do you know when you just hear something? And I was like, I really do have to appreciate what we've been given. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, and that opportunity is out there, Brian. For a lot of people, they might be listening or watching, that it's there, but they don't take that opportunity, do they?
And it is scary. It is really scary. You don't have classes at school teaching you how to sell online. You might have ICT. I did ICT, but
it's like a big risk.
Yeah, it is a risk.
Jumping into Nomad's.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. But it's like you literally, which I think I'd love to start this off this podcast, like you're a sensation over that kind of thing, because when you woke up with all them.
I was.
That's the first time I've seen that. We spoke about that. I'm sensational over that.
It was really funny. I think this was last year. I was hopped on a call about working with a brand, and you sort of put your portfolio together, all your top videos, convert analytics, all of that sort of stuff. And I'd sent over that video, and this guy said, "No way, you're the slipper girl." I was like, "Okay, that's what I'm known as in this industry." He said, "I use your content to teach my students how to do what we're doing." So I want to get paid for that, thank you. Yeah, crazy. He didn't even hire me.
Oh no.
So, wow, I'm a bit lost, man.
But you always lost, though.
I'm always lost, Steve. But I've got you there to just swing me back into track with things.
Have I blown your mind?
Yeah, I've blown my mind with that. Is that?
So
I wasn't expecting this. It's like we spoke a little bit before in hot tub.
That seems a bit.
And I said, at the gym, yeah. Yeah, no, just that's what I do love with these podcasts. Is like you don't really know someone until you sit down and we have these conversations. Still, like blowing my mind in 27 million.
Do you know? And that's what I love about. I mean, the fact that I can work online and have this freedom is the reason that I'm sat here now. I couldn't have been at the gym at any time of the day if I was back at home, sat in an office 8 hours a day. I couldn't be flying. I mean, I fly to Thailand on Monday. I just look at the flight. Yeah, it can fly whenever. It opens up so many opportunities, conversation. I mean, even with flights, when you can book, when you're set to 2 weeks holiday, and I mean, with school times in the UK, they bump up all the prices, don't they? But when I can just say, oh, I'll fly anytime this month, I just pick the cheapest flight. So it generates so many more opportunities, conversations, even being out here. We speak to people in the gym. There's a guy who makes content on TikTok Shop Harry C in the gym. Do you know him?
Or maybe Harry. Yeah.
The really tall guy. He looks a bit like a Greek god. He hopped on our Discord call to teach our creators how to do TikTok Shop because we'd met him in the gym and he's in the collective there. So, like, just so many opportunities that you would not get if I was sat driving the same route to work, sat with the same people, ordering the same pint at the pub on a Friday, every Friday in the same monotonous routine. Yeah, you can't expand your life without taking these risks.
And talking about risks, right? And, it sounds all rosy and whatnot, but you would have had some, I would assume, some darker times or, below, where it is a roller coaster and the revenue is not always solid.
Absolutely.
What were some of those darker times?
This one?
A scary time. What was the hard time you had with this?
Oh, in terms of being away or in business?
No, I mean, like, so in terms of, what were some of your lows? Because, it's not always highs within your business. You popped off.
Yeah.
But when you pop off, I guess the next month or a couple of months or the quarter after that, you're like, I replicate.
Yeah, no, right? Of course. Being a UGC creator, it's not always consistent income, which is something that I've always liked. I'm a very organized person, quite structured. I've always been very aware of my income and outgoings. So to then take the plunge to be like, I don't know who's going to hire me this month. I don't know if I'm going to be kept on. I don't know how sales are going to go. Sales fluctuate so much with every product or niche that you're in, whether it be TikTok Shop or Facebook ads. Yeah, it can be super inconsistent. So that's tricky. My brother's business, like I say, he's listed on Amazon US. He's just flown to Singapore to do a visa run with his girlfriend, and they went to the Universal Studios in Singapore. They went to a theme park yesterday. So, and it's not often we don't have a day. It's not often that we don't work, especially because this is our life. We do try and do a day's work and then we'll go out for dinner or something. But so they weren't on their phones all day. He got back to his accommodation and his Amazon listing was down. No, we called. He's got his own personal team with Amazon. They couldn't tell him the reason why. They didn't make any sales yesterday, which to them is a big thing. I mean, they'll be fine financially, but that can knock your listing, take you down the rankings. We've got all of these creators that should be making commission through their affiliate links, whether it's worth posting because we don't know when this listens, and then it can break trust with your creators. Oh, why is this brand down? So yeah, of course. There's so many ups and downs, but to be an entrepreneur, you have to be resilient. You have to be able to solve problems and just manage your emotions in those circumstances. I think is really important. The other week, in the middle of the night, we'd woken up, and we use Canva to create a lot of our slideshow content. And like I say, we have 200 creators in this Discord from all over the world. And we'd woken up and we'd said to them, we really need to scale down and get a stronger team. So not everyone's sort of going to make it this month. If you're not putting in the effort, you're not pulling through sales, we might look at letting you go. And so somebody had taken that very personally and tried to hijack the brand. So we already have sort of like slides set up so our creators can sort of take them and put them online. And he'd gone through all of these Canva slides and said, just really awful things, taking away all the work that we'd done, putting a load of shit on these Canva slides, charged one of our apps $15,000. Leah woke up like, wise banking, 15,000. What the hell? Just every day there is something. I mean, luckily we got the refund the next day, and but it took us a long time to sift through to like, who has done this? We didn't know who it was. Lots of our creators, we've never met them. We work with them online, we've never met them. So there is far more good days than bad days. But I suppose in a job, when you work in a job, I used to work in customer service, people screaming at you, and you're not getting paid enough to deal with that crap. Absolutely. So, I mean, when it's your own business and you have that fire and that you have your all in on it, I mean, I wouldn't say it's easier, but you know, when you've had a horrible day at work, somebody else is making the big bucks, you're making £10 an hour, that's difficult to run back from, I think. But same with anything, there's going to be good, there's going to be bad. Even being far away from home, I miss my dogs so much. My heart aches for them. I miss my friends. I miss engagements, birthdays, celebrations. You can't live both lives. You do have to make a choice whether you're sort of here or there. I do go home for big events, but you can't be there to see it all. So yeah, of course, it is good days and bad days, but same with every single person on planet Earth. So, and we're far lucky. I would always choose this life over a 9 till 5 back at home.
Yeah, so you have that freedom to travel and go. What does that look like? Because you go on to Thailand in a couple of days or whatnot. You're here in Bali. Take me through that, yeah, because I'm.
Oh gosh, it's just incredible, absolutely incredible. I honestly say to myself all the time, I need to start vlogging my life, because at least one thing happens a day where I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like I say, it just opens up so many more opportunities. And with my work being flexible, in fact, I mean, you know what Bali's like. You walk down the street, somebody will get chatting to you. You'll end up going out for dinner. Then you'll be on a night out. Then you'll be going for a massage the next day. And you can just have... How often we were sat last night, we were having a drink, and I don't know how it came up. I said, what day is it? Absolutely no idea.
That's
what
fun.
time, what day. As long as I don't miss my flight on the 16th, then I'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, just the ability to wake up, be able to accept invitations, be able to go to the gym when you want, pick your work up, drop your work, not miss out. I missed out on so much for so many years. It didn't bother me, but looking back now, it does. Miss family events. I'd always try and make it, but I'd always be the last one there. I'd always be catching up drinking at the end of the night. Yeah, I'm very, very, very lucky. Incredibly lucky. I would not change my life for the world.
So where's base? Do you have a base?
In my suitcase.
In your bench suitcase?
Wherever that is. No, I don't. I mean, at home, I do still love at home. We're very lucky. We all get on as a family. We're such a strong team. My mum and dad have always said, no matter where you are in the world, you'll always have a bedroom at home. I don't want property. My big thing was starting working and my work ethic. I really wanted property young. I really, like my dad's, again, sort of old school, put your money into bricks and mortar, get on the property ladder. But then when I got to the point where I had sort of a deposit, I don't think that's what I want to do.
I was like the old school
Yeah.
dream.
My dad's been very lucky. He's bought and sold property at the right time. We've always been very lucky to live in nice houses. But so yeah, he always said that to us, and it is still a good thing to do, of course. I don't see the housing market sort of depreciating, but it's not what I wanted. I don't want to be stuck. It's not stuck. It is stuck there. And do you know, one of the last conversations that I had before coming back out this time, I went home because my cousin had a baby. So one of the last conversations I was with, we were at a baby shower. My mum was there, and then a couple that I went to school with, they were the year below me in school, so I've known them for a long time. They've been in a relationship a long time. They've got a house, they've got a big like family car. They don't have a family yet, but they've got a big family car, both in really good jobs. And the boy turned, my mum was talking about their home and sort of where they're located. And he said, it's really sad because I have to choose between seeing and enjoying my friends or paying the bills. He's like 25 years old. I don't want that. That's not a life to me. So I don't have a base. Last year when we were traveling, because we were working, we definitely did. I mean, some people would do 2 days here, 3 days here. That's exhausting. I mean, if you've only got 6 months out of your job and you want to see X, Y, and Z, you don't really have a choice. But we'd taken a year's sabbatical. We both knew in the backs of our minds we were not going back to our jobs. But this time, when people say, where do you live? I sort of just say like where I am right now, because I've been in Bali 4 months now. So for now, yeah, Bali. But we do longer stints. We book at least a month because then we can get up, get in a nice routine, hit the gym, eat good food. You're not sort of, because traveling is exhausting.
Yeah.
It's really, even if you're just sat on a coach or sat in a flight, even if it's a 2-hour flight, it still takes up your entire morning.
Especially with stopovers.
You
Yeah.
have to take a day.
Yeah,
it's a day
exactly.
gone.
Yeah. So don't have a base, but I remember being with my ex, and I'd said to him when we were very rocky, either really good or really bad, never really knew if we were coming or going. And I'd said to him one day, I said, I want to be able to look back on my life and say I've lived in Thailand, lived in Switzerland, swam here, eaten here, done various different things.
Filled with experiences.
Yeah, I want to be that grandma that has these incredible stories and shows that whenever I take a picture, I look at it and think, oh, can't wait to show my grandkids. And how cool it is to be able to say I travelled around Asia for the vast majority of my 20s. And I'll never forget, I was saying to him, like, I want to be able to say I've lived here, done this. And he said, let's do it then. I said, you're not in my vision. I don't see that. I know it's awful, but we were so up and down. I think the most important thing with gathering this freedom and traveling is who you do it with. That can make or break your trip. I think it's the absolute most important decision you can make.
And are you traveling with your brother and his girlfriend? Is that you like a
it's
big crew that's doing a
so
tour?
much fun. So there's me, my youngest brother Leo, who has recently turned 21, his girlfriend Dana, she's also recently turned 21. As we got to Bali, so that was very hectic for a lot of weeks. So it was about 3 weeks in between, and we just celebrated the entire time. There's also my brother's business partner. He's 20. He's from Morocco. His fiance, Alam, she's absolutely incredible. She's 22, 23. This is her first time out of Morocco. And then right now we have Ayub's best friend, Mohammed, with us as well. So right now there's 6 of us. We have friends come and go. We have friends that work for Leo. My brother Joe back at home, he'll come out a good few times a year. So yeah, it's so much fun traveling the world with your best friends.
It's almost like being a rock band and just being like tour overnight. It sounds so fun, yeah.
Yeah, we live on the road.
Yeah,
That is so much fun. Yeah, it is.
wow.
The only difficult part is deciding which country to do next.
It's a bad problem to have.
It's a nice little life. Yeah, it's incredible. Like I say, we are so lucky. We work hard though. We work really hard.
Do you have any so do you have any plans of doing anything else, or this is like
Yeah, what's your goal? What's your vision now? Because it's, I think,
you just open up so much more opportunities. You can do this, you can do that. I mean, do you just happy with what you're doing?
We are so, like I say, my life could, other than my friends coming to join us, which I know my friends have got children, mortgages, jobs. I know that that's not going to happen. That is the only thing that could make my life better. In terms of goals, I mean, launching my own product, that's a huge goal. Sort of like financial figure a month would be nice too. But we even say, even if we had another 10, 20, 30, 50 grand a month, we wouldn't do anything differently. There's nothing that could add to my life right now. There really isn't. The only goals that I have are visiting countries that I haven't been to. I want to snowboard in Japan. I want to see the orangutans in Borneo, South Korea, loads of places. I've not even actually done a lot of Europe, really. I want to do South America next year, but we'll just do the same. We'll just book accommodation for a month, do the touristy spots, delve a little bit farther, and just work through the day.
So you say you got a new project. Are you allowed to speak about that? Is it hush-hush?
I
Or
can
should we wait
speak
and see?
about it. The boys have never had a failed launch. They know the blueprint. They're my brothers are so intelligent. Leo's brain is like a sponge. He only has to read something once. He's absolutely incredible. So it was actually his girlfriend that saw the product online, and there's only a couple of brands that are selling it right now on TikTok Shop. When we saw it, they hadn't listed on Amazon. So huge gap in the
there was a gap.
market.
Yeah.
So so I actually only got the pictures through. The production is done, it's ready. We have a great marketing structure. The design looks incredible. We were sat around the laptop like, no, that colour's not right. Oh yeah, that one. No, change the font. So much fun. And yeah, if we can, all we have to do is make it go viral, which we've been doing for years.
You do that.
Which 36 million views, shall have some pocket money.
That's brilliant. So you got a whole blueprint. You're good to go. And your brother's never had a failed launch. Incredible, huh?
I know when I heard that, I was like, that's so good to
I'm so proud of him. So proud. And
I was trying to
no, go on.
Oh no, I was because at first when you said two brothers, I was trying to match up. Yeah, so now I know anyway. It's the brother that I
So
see.
Leo's the one.
He's not really quiet anymore. When you say he's quiet, I was thinking, maybe that's that one. But yeah,
Do you
he's
know
wow, he's showing that.
Oh my gosh. And I'm so proud of him. Like I say, when we set off traveling, like, what are we going to talk about? And actually, when I landed in Bali, this is my second time in Bali. We did a month in Bali last year, and we stayed in a really nice accommodation in Kutan. I must have been tired, emotional. I remember ringing my mum, and I said, Mum, I'm having the most incredible time. It could not get any better, but I did feel like I was carrying the both of us in terms of speaking to people. Leo was so quiet, very social. He won't mind me saying this. He was very socially awkward. The only time he could have a full and thorough conversation was about business. And when we were traveling last year, we were more like in the backpackers sort of, there's, especially in Bali, there's two very different communities. We're now in the entrepreneur community. Last year, we were definitely more in the backpacker community. So when Leo's saying, oh yeah, drop shipping, I make money online, these backpackers are like, I'm hanging up my arse, I don't care, how do you do it? But I'm not going to follow through and ask you any questions or get in contact with you ever again. I'm just going to rinse all my money and then go home with nothing.
Yeah.
Which it is incredible. That's not what we wanted to do. We wanted this to be long term. We had such a good time. Like I say, we did everything in our power to make it work.
And he came out of his shoulder.
Yeah.
Where once he got into the right community.
Yeah. And I do take credit that I have. I mean, I taught him how to speak to girls. I taught him how to dress, how to put an outfit together, how to approach people in conversation. I've always been very good at it. What do you
You're a big sister.
I think every man has a good woman, whether it be a good sister, a good wife, a good mom.
And so from your advice, he's got a girlfriend now, yeah?
Yes.
So you get the results work.
I always get results.
She's a nice girl as well.
She is. She's unbelievable. They met in the Philippines earlier this year, and they did long distance for a little while, and she's travelled with us ever since. It's incredible.
So for Leo, that brother, the really quiet one, how did he pick up? What did he say?
How did he get up?
Yeah.
What did you tell him?
I don't know. Like, you have to. I love meeting new people because there's so much to talk about. If you're with the same people in the same routine, there's only so much you can talk about. When you meet someone new, tell me everything. I love asking questions. Tell me your stories, your experiences. In Bali, you can't go anywhere. If you're in a rush, tell me what you're doing. But yeah, and traveling always broadens your horizons. I can't see many people leaving to go traveling and going home the same person. You just can't. You've seen and done too much. You've had too many conversations with people from various different parts of the world, different cultures, different upbringings, different perspectives. It just opens up your mind so much. It's incredible. Especially back at home, our home city, there's 200,000 people. I go on a night out and you probably know 50% of them that are in there. It's quite tight-knit. I know they might listen to this back at home. It can be catty if somebody does well. The UK culture, people drag people down. They didn't like to see success because it's, like I say, it's too far out of reach. Jealousy, envy takes over.
People also feel like you're going to be leaving them, they're getting left behind.
People want you
so they would rather drag you back and get you going for like
absolutely. People want to see you do well, but not better than them.
Have you had that experience yourself?
This might sound ridiculous, but the first time I travelled, I was 18. I went and worked in America. This is my 4th time in Asia. When I was posting last year, I get messages all the time. How do you do it? That looks so much fun. That night out looked incredible. How funny was that video? And then coming back out again earlier this year, few likes, few hearts on your story. Now, I don't get, maybe they're bored of me posting. I probably would be, but I definitely don't get the admiration that I used to.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I think maybe just getting bored of seeing us living that life.
And especially back at home, it's raining. Yeah. Oh, she's out drinking again in that cute little outfit. I don't know. I might be overthinking it. I'm sure people are happy for me.
No, the right people are happy for you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh,
Wow.
Man, I did not expect when you was coming on the show that it was going to be like this.
Really?
I knew there's definitely some depth to you because I was saying to him that this girl's going to be on fire, yeah. And you've actually, super playing.
I have a guest on loads of podcasts. I really enjoy this. I was even nervous.
As soon as I get off of this, I'm just waiting to get onto that. I want to see that clip.
I will show you it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Goodness me.
But yeah, you come on nervous. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm nervous at all.
For everyone, she was really nervous when she come on. I was like, no, you're going to be on fire. And yeah, you're done.
Do you know when I said earlier, I've got a few points on freedom? Going back to sort of UK culture, when I think of freedom, and this was maybe a thought provoked as I was getting ready to come here, especially now because I work in social media, I see everything through a very different light, a very different lens. Freedom to me, I'll scroll down my Instagram and an example off the top of my head, obviously the UK, it's winter right now, or when this is filmed, it's winter. and burgundy is the colour that everybody's wearing. And I'll scroll down, and like I say, because I'm in marketing, I know the psychology behind it all. I'm seeing everything very differently. You're getting sold to all the time, whether you realise it or not. I can't remember what the figure is, but you see X amount of advertisement every single day. You can't go anywhere. Signposts,
It's something ridiculous, like
marketing,
1,000, like a
it's
minute or something,
yeah,
like
it is an
ridiculous like that.
awful lot.
Yeah.
So for me, like I say, because I now work in social media and I'm the one putting the content out there rather than consuming it, freedom to me has been able to think for yourself. And I mean, we've all had the comments I've had. I don't want to say who said it, but I had, oh, I don't think you'll go traveling. I've had, oh, I don't think you'll leave him. I remember rocking up to my first marathon. My mum said, oh, don't worry if you don't get round. You're not exactly built for a marathon.
Rachel.
I said, let me show you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But you just have to block out the noise. And I think if you put so much time and effort and love into yourself and know who you are, which I don't think an awful lot of people do know who they are. They really don't, because we're hammered by noise constantly. Oh, she's wearing this online. That looks really good on her. She's going here. There's a big thing on social media now that, oh, your 20s are so confusing. I get where they're coming from, but maybe because I see things in a different perspective. If I see friends have got babies, friends are going back to university, friends are starting a business, friends are going traveling, I'm like, that's so amazing. Look how many opportunities. Look how many different pathways or options that we have now, because we're all so connected. And people, like I say, they see it as oh, I'm so confused, should I be having kids? But if you know yourself, all of my friends have children, all of them, they're all married. My friendship group, there's only me and one other girl that don't have kids of my group of girls. My friend has never announced her pregnancy or had a child, and I thought, oh, I better do that. That's not what I want. I don't get why. So for me, freedom, like I said, being able to think for yourself, being able to block out the noise, know who you are as a person, set your goals, set your intentions, build the life that you want to live. We all know what we want deep down. You know how you want your mornings to start, what you want your life to look like, what you want your relationship to look like, your bank account. Work towards that. Be happy for everybody else and take the knowledge, take the experiences, the conversations, learn what you do want and what you don't want from every single person that you meet. Everything's a lesson. But like I say, because of social media, unfortunately, mental health is at an all-time high. It's really sad that people are following, oh, my mum thinks I should do this, or oh, it's telling me not to start my business because it might not work out. I think to live a life true to yourself is the absolute most important thing. And I've seen people in older generations not do that, and that breaks my heart.
And do you think you kind of have to step back and be self-aware, because, or either, like you said before, set your intention, but sort of work, maybe write that down and then work towards it, right? And put those actions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very goal orientated, whether it be fitness, financial, business, life as a whole. I'm very goal orientated. We all, like I say, we all know what we want deep down if you spend enough time with yourself and just work it back, right? I want to go to Thailand. How am I going to get there? How much money do I need? It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. And I'll have people message me, and this really upsets me. People message me, oh, I'm so jealous of your travels. There's nothing that I have done that anybody else is not capable of. Some people do. I've run 3 marathons. I'm an Ironman, work online, traveled the world. I live this incredible life, and people do put me on a pedestal. Some people do. There's nothing that I have done that any of these people are not capable of. So if you're going to message me saying I'm jealous, all that's doing to yourself is you're telling your brain, I can't achieve that.
Yeah, or block on it.
Ask me questions. Work for us. I'll teach you. I'll hop on a call. I'll talk you through every single step that I've done. Loads of Leo's friends work for him. There's nothing that people are not capable of.
Wow. So, is there any way people can get in contact you and John wanted to contact you?
Oh, you can follow my Instagram
There you go.
at Lois Stilgoe. Yeah, no, I honestly, because I want as many people as possible to live a full life. I really, really, really do. I don't want people to have regrets, or you can set goals at 20, not do them by 25. You don't want those goals anymore. You've lost interest.
Chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it Jim Byrne? You're not a tree. The
hmm
tree says you can always move.
Yeah, we're not married to our thoughts, Joe Rogan says. I like that.
That's perfect. Cool. So anybody that wants to get in touch with Lois, well, I'll drop the link below in the description. And yeah, look,
Thank you for coming onto our show, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I'm honoured to be asked.
Thank you.
fantastic. Until next week, thanks guys, and we'll chat to you soon.
That's on.
Ciao.